Hello and welcome to POCCA Cape Cod TV show, coming from you at LCTV in Northeast Tam at Nauset High School. Hi, I'm Laura Kelley. POCCA stands for Protect Our Cape Cod Aquifer, because it's up to us to do that. We live above it. And so everything we do every single day really matters on the impact of what's happening and our drinking source. So I wanted to chat with you about what we can grow in our own backyards, what we can consume, native plants, and farmers markets. So today's show, we have a lot to cover. I have a great guest here today. Hi, David. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me.
And where is your farm located?
Our farm's in Truro. We're surrounded by the National Seashore, and our store faces Route 6 on 2 Truro Central Road.
Nice. So when you're driving right on your way to Provincetown, isn't it a little bit up to your left, right?
Correct, on the left-hand side, just before you get to the Pamet Roads exit.
And you have a table right there for edibles, right on the road, so
Yep.
It's a self-serve kind of...
Yeah, if we're not there, it's an honor system, but we're there now 7 days a week starting next week.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Great. And so what we wanted to do is kind of share with you what's local, what's available, and just realize that there's a lot here, and the costs are lighter because you don't have to go through like a middleman system, you know. So I think it's really important for us to realize where our money goes matters, and what we do is we end up building, you know, where we're spending. And so why not build the local farmers? Why not, you know, shake the hand of the farmer that feeds you? It's one of my favorite sayings I heard recently, and I can't help but say it all the time. So David has a really incredible farm situation up in Truro, and feel free to show a couple photos. And it's really neat to see through time, you know, the growing, no pun intended, of you getting larger and larger and being able to offer more and more to the rest of us here on the Cape. So please explain more what you have available.
Well, we of course grow our own produce. We have specialized in mixed greens, and we grow tomatoes and, you know, all your eggplants and cucumbers, all the standard stuff, a few oddball things for the restaurants. And we also grow all of our own plants. We grow native perennials, strictly that are meant to grow in the sand, low maintenance. We grow vegetable starts organically for everybody to put in their gardens.
Oh, look at that.
We took over, Roxbury Nursery was the original farm, so we still continue to grow their specialty, which was heath and heather. We grow various other perennials and annuals and hanging baskets, whatever you need for your garden.
Isn't that incredible? So this is all organically grown.
Yep, everything's done organically, and I've been doing it that way since 1987.
That's incredible. Now that's a really big deal for us to, I guess, realize, because I'm a landscape architect. Littlefield Landscapes is my business, and I've been I've been designing for 22 years, and there are a lot of clients asking for organic perennials. And it fascinates me that I kind of get twisted. Well, you know, there's places that I know fertilize with this, and so I start explaining what's available, and to know that you have them is just great. It's huge, you know. So you're actually starting them here, and
Yep.
and so being natives, we know that they work here in our soils, and that's another big deal. Why spend $10 if it might not work? You know, if it's gamble, you know. So that's really incredible. You should check out his farm sometime when you get a chance. Go on a field trip, see what it's like. There's a lot going on. It's hard to just describe. But having annuals and perennials on top of edibles, how big is your place?
We have 38,600 square feet of greenhouse space, and we have about 3 acres total.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
How many people help you?
I have 3 employees in my family.
Nice.
And a lot of
for you.
friends.
So you wake up in the morning and start watering, right?
Lately, yeah, I do.
I know, we haven't had much rain. It's true. Very true. And you must eat all your own then? You
Yeah, we
fortify
tend to.
yourself?
Yeah, we do our best.
Are you able to harvest and eat in the winters as well?
Yes, I do specialize in my salad mix, and the process of doing that, we can grow that year-round in unheated greenhouses.
Wow.
With a few cultural techniques and then timing as far as planting dates, and we're able to go ahead and harvest year-round.
And hopefully some sunlight, right?
Yeah, and for the last couple of years, we've been selling our produce in the winter to our school, Truro Central School.
Oh, huge. Oh, no, that's a blessing. Yeah, there's so many schools that just don't have the right types of food. That's really big, around the country, is that realization of what are we feeding our kids anyways, so bless you for...
Yeah, we have a great farm-to-school program, and our cafeteria at our school has been authorized to buy everything local, so...
That's huge.
That's what we're doing.
Good job. Good for you. And so you do local farmers markets as well?
Yes, I was involved with getting the Truro Farmers Market started, and last year was our first year, and now we're going to be starting on next Monday at 8 o'clock. We'll be doing year number 2, and it was a huge success. This year I plan to do the Wellfleet Market on Wednesday as well. So I've been doing markets for a long time. I was one of the originators starting the Orleans Farmers Market. I was one of the first group of few people that got it started.
Good, thank you. Glad you're here residing on the Cape doing this for us, because it really just makes such a big difference where our food comes from, because it's the difference between quality and lack thereof. What is your food? Where is it? How long has it traveled? All these questions, in my head when I'm right before I take a bite, especially in restaurants. I'm like, I don't know where this is, where it came from, but here it goes down the hatch, and it's a horrific feeling knowing, we do literally have this beauty in our backyards. We just have to plan it right, Saturday mornings or Wednesday mornings, you go to a town and bring your canvas bags. And so I have a saying, it's not that it's difficult, it's that it's different. It's about changing habits. We're used to going to supermarkets, grocery stores, stuff like that, and every Thursday or whatever our routine is, because we're humans, so we're habit forming, and it's easy to go to the same gas station, same restaurant, But if we just shifted our habits, prices are relative because there are no middlemen, and there might be a couple holes, it might not be perfect, there might be a little dirt on it or something, there might be some bugs, but then it's for real. I mean, it's not covered with pesticides to get all the pests off of it, so that kind of stuff is really, really something to think about. What do you want to feed your family? Whoever's in charge of that these days, I think, has a big responsibility.
Yeah, there's a lot of choices out there.
Yeah. And every single day we have lots of choices. Where we spend our money does matter, for sure. So I love growing tomatoes. It's really funny because I don't eat them too much, but I love growing them. They're just easy peasy. And I've found that, jarring them and having them all winter long is just so neat. And putting them in with basil, when you jar them, and different colors of tomatoes, it turns into Christmas presents. So there's so many neat, fun things we can do, like with our lavender, you dry them and hang them up for a couple weeks, and then you can make little sashes and put in your laundry, to have your clothes smell better and stuff. There's so many neat things you can actually do if you grow your own. And you can grow, like if you don't have land, you can grow in pots and stuff pretty easily.
Yeah, certain things do well.
Really well, and I actually like to have the heat of the container, especially tomatoes actually like it hot, right?
They do, yeah, they do. They just need a big pot so they can get their full size. That's about it.
Yeah, and some of them get huge. I had a ladder. I was like climbing on my side of my house on Thanksgiving getting tomatoes once. That was incredible. So how many different varieties of lettuce do you think you have?
Well, our salad mix consists of about 21 ingredients, where your average store-bought, or even some of the local farmers here, is usually 6 to 8. So I've gone pretty far, extensive search for greens from Japan and all over Asia to keep it interesting. So currently we have 9 varieties of lettuce.
Wow.
And let's see, we have about 7 or 8 varieties of mustard greens, and then a whole slew of other things that are definitely rare.
That's incredible. Wow, good for you. And are they heirloom?
Most of them are, yeah. Not all of them, but
Great.
most of them. We do as much as we can.
That's a really big deal.
They're all open pollinated, though.
Good.
So whether they're actually heirloom or not, but we are able to collect the seeds
Yeah, that's what I
so
was
that
gonna
we're
say.
able to continue forth, and
Excellent.
we've begun doing that as well.
Excellent. Yeah, we've got to collect and save our seeds. You
Yes,
know, I
very
think
important.
that's something that we all need to do for sure. And knowing, you know, what we're eating, what we're saving, keeping it going for generations, because we don't actually know what's happening out there in industrial agriculture, where food is being grown. It's just, it's you know, question marks, you know.
A lot of the big seed companies are owned by the same people that own the pesticide companies, so it's good to go with a company you can trust.
Save your own seeds for
And
sure.
there are a lot of good seed companies that are now, you know, doing good work. So
Right, they're stepping up.
We
Other
have a
ones
lot
are
of good
stepping
choices,
out.
yeah.
We still do have some good choices, but collecting your own, store them in a nice closet space, label them. There's going to be a point in time, I really believe, that we're going to need to, you know, go into our closets and find our own seeds.
well, I know it's another show, but we have started a seed bank at the Truro Library.
Congratulations.
So we've been collecting seeds. The library has also been purchasing open pollinated seeds free for the public. And the goal is if you take a pack of seeds with you, then you go ahead and grow them out, save the seeds, and bring back 2 packs. And in the process, we're going to create a localized seed source that, you know, in the future we'll have as a base to draw from.
Excellent.
So it's free of charge. Just ask someone at the desk in Truro Public Library and they'll help you out.
That's a big deal. Yeah, I hear Hyannis is doing something like that too. So thank you. Shout out to those towns for putting forth some effort. That's actually a fun thing to do too, you know, to be a part of your community even more. So can you explain different types of varieties of what you brought here today?
We have a Napa cabbage right here, some bok choy, and 2 varieties of kale, red Russian and lacinato kale. All 5 varieties there, or whatever.
And most of these actually winter over pretty easily.
The kales will winter over. The bok choys and Napa cabbage won't. But these are some of our early spring crops that we grow and harvested for your show today. And they'll be available on Monday at the farmers market. And you know, there's a lot more bounty to come. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. So.
And it's kind of the beginning of our season.
This is just the beginning for us. Yep.
Nice. And then below we have.
Let's see. We got we have a bunch of native perennials that we grow for the sandy situations that we have. But as you can see, they also flower. So it's not just a pretty, you know, plant that grows well. It's also productive in your garden. A lot of them are cut flowers. You'll see some of our heath and heather up here, as well as some perennial violas, and some of our organically grown proven winners, which is a trademarked plant that the program we're involved with. Our customers appreciate it. They know the plant's genetics are good, and I believe I would venture forth to say that I'm one of the only ones that grow them organically. So I don't know anyone else that does. So that's about it. Yeah, we have some annuals, heath and heather, and some nice flowers.
Yeah, I recognize them all. They're great. So again, focusing on the fact that you are organic is huge, and you're right here in our backyards.
Yeah, we're doing all the growing ourselves. We don't buy anything in from any other nurseries anywhere else. So we're just our plants is what you have at our store. Something whether we grow it or grow for sale or for plants.
Yeah, we're so fortunate to have you here, that's for sure. Yeah. So farmers markets, where if you don't want to go to Truro, there's many farmers and farmers markets throughout the Cape. I'd love to show a list of them to everybody and actually read it, because I really believe this is the answer to building our local farmers. I mean, we really have to understand where our food is coming from, and then we know what we're actually eating and giving our loved ones. So if we could be so crazy as to actually go down this list, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think there's about 10 or 12 farmers markets to describe. So farmers markets on Cape Cod. One is in Bass River, and that's off of Old Main Street in Yarmouth. And that's open on Thursdays and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1:30. In Chatham, there's farmers market on Tuesdays at 3 to 6, and that's on Main Street. In Falmouth, at Peg Noonan Park on Thursdays, 12 noon to 6 o'clock. At the Barnstable County Fairgrounds, there's the Green Harvest Organic Farmers Market, and they have an artisans fair there as well, and that's Tuesdays, noon to 4. In Harwich, that I've been to a few times, there's a farmers market on Thursdays in the afternoon from 3 to 6. And a Mid-Cape Farmers Market on Wednesdays is in Hyannis on 468 Main Street. An Orleans Farmers Market that Dave helped us originate, thank you for that, is 21 Colony Way, that's right behind the Chocolate Sparrow. Saturday mornings from 8 to 12. Osterville Farmers Market is off of West Bay Road, Fridays 9 to 1. In Sandwich, there's a farmers market on Tuesdays 9 to 1 on the Village Green. There's a Truro Farmers Market. When is that?
Mondays.
What time?
From 8 to 12.
And how many other people are there, tables on average?
This year we've expanded a lot. There's going to be a couple meat producers coming.
Really?
And finally shellfish. We've got lobster coming, and
cool.
I don't know the number. I'm not the farmer's manager anymore, the market manager. I'm guessing it's going to be around close to 25, 30 maybe.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Sustainable Cape is the organization that runs the market.
Yeah, can you give that shout out? Sustainable?
Sustainable Cape is a nonprofit that we started when we created the Truro Agricultural Fair that we run every year. And it's sustainablecape.org, and CAPE stands for Center for Agricultural Preservation and Education.
Nice. So that's
what we're doing, and you can go to their website and get all the information for the farmers market, and if you want to try to join us, if there's still space.
Sustainablecape.org. Check it out.
Sustainablecape.org, yeah.
You guys also have educational pieces and stuff?
Yes, this is actually an educational farm. Every farmer has a educational board that when we have field trips of kids brought to the market, they're able to read what's going on, and then any customers can read. For instance, we call them "Did you know?" And for instance, my "Did you know?" is, "Did you know that you can grow greens in the winter in Cape Cod?" So then we explain on each educational board, we'll explain a little bit about what we're doing and how we do it and the process that we go through, so that they can walk away and get some information. And if a lot of times we don't have time to speak with everyone so closely, so this way we're able to get our information across and get the educational component, which is the essence of Sustainable Cape's work. So that's what we're doing.
Wow, that's excellent. That's such a good idea. And again, we're so lucky to have it here on the Cape, locally.
It's true.
So get your children involved, get your families involved. There's a lot going on right here in our own backyards.
We have school gardens. We have got a garden at the library and at the National Seashore up near the Palemet tent. And yeah, we're trying to teach the kids. We have actually hired a farmer that goes into the school now and works with the kids every week.
Excellent. Wow, I think that's huge. I think if we can teach the next generation anything, it would be how to sustain themselves. On what levels? The first one, how to grow food. I think it's just so important. We talk about health class and did you get an A in science and stuff. Yeah. We're not even talking about foods, like you get a bucket, throw some dirt in, throw a seed in, water it. So what does the seed need to grow, right? 3 things. Water, sunlight, and nutrition. That's it. This isn't rocket science, but we need to go in this direction. So bless you guys for putting this all together. Listen, I have like a couple more farmers markets to just throw out there, because if I don't, I'm going to be in trouble here. One of them being Wellfleet Preservation Hall, which is at 335 Main Street on Wednesdays 8 to noon, and then I know Provincetown has one too on Saturday mornings.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they just changed location. I don't know where that is.
I don't know where they've switched to.
Yeah, it's like a stone's throw away from where it was, though. I think it's just from one side of the street diagonally.
It's on
to the
Ryder
other.
Street.
Yeah. So check them out. You know, I was really amazed. The Orleans one is the one that I frequent through the years, and it has grown huge. I think it's doubled in like 3 years. You know, they've got honey where you can like sample things, and I mean, it's just neat. It's almost like a learning experience every single time, you know.
Yeah, they've done a really great job there.
And then, of course, every week there's new things. There's new produce that's come up, you know. So, you know, for the kids to see and to taste new flavors and to, you know, try new things, it's a no-brainer. The price is right too.
Yeah.
So, how long have you been on the Cape?
I've been here since the mid-'80s. I started farming in 1987, I believe it was.
And before this, did you grow up on a farm?
No, I didn't. My family skipped a generation. So, no, I just regular old household. No
So you
farm.
came to the Cape and you said, I'm going to plant a seed.
Yep, came to the Cape, started working for Roxbury Nursery and a couple other nurseries, and we went to college and studied plant and soil science in Northern California, and moved back and been farming ever since.
Nice. That's what I did. I grew up here in the Cape. I went away and came back and said, okay, now what am I going to do? And just, you know, gardening was it for me. So it's kind of fun. You know, it's interesting to hear the pathway of people, because a lot of times people leave the Cape, and I'm so fascinated how many come back, and then to see, you know, what it is that excites them if they can actually support themselves and stay here. You know, I think the our midlives, there's not a big full generation of people here. I think it's harder to live on the Cape.
It's very true. It's getting harder and harder, I think.
Right. And so to, you know, do something that you can actually work with your hands and, you know, work in your yards and then make something of it. I mean, it's something we all can do, you know. It's getting up every day and watering that some of us can't do. But regardless, it's neat to see the variety. Most farmers have a specialty. I do edibles, or I, you know, plant things or something like that. But you really have a wide spectrum. You do a little bit of a lot.
Yeah, we're trying to, you know, in the springtime we have plant sales, and those start to die down because everyone's planted their gardens. But then we move into vegetable sales. And
do you do lots of root vegetables?
I do, yeah. Mostly salsify and celeriac. But those are the two I do. Yeah.
Nice. In the fall, right?
Yep, those are both in the fall.
How about garlic?
I didn't grow garlic this year, but I have many other years.
Nice. And are you able to keep things growing? I think we talked about this earlier. All winter long?
Yes, in a few of our greenhouses.
Neat. That is so cool. Do you heat them at all?
Nope, these are all
natural.
unheated.
God, that's awesome. Just again, big things. You know, that's not easy to do. You know, but it sounds like you've got a green thumb, or maybe two.
Yeah, I've got good help too. So.
Good for you. Is there anything else you'd like to add to the episode?
No, I'm just really glad to be here. I'm grateful for your work you're doing to help protect our aquifers.
I know, it's big.
People need to learn that, you know, if you pour chemical fertilizers on your lawn or your garden, it's going to go somewhere. So it's nice to know that we can do it organically and start with compost, and that's the way to begin, is composting, and get that compost in there, and healthy soils will make healthy plants. That's our goal.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, you have to think about, again, what are we eating?
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to eat synthetic man-made fertilizers? You know, it's really easy to have a compost pile, or it's cheap enough to purchase it too, you know, or in bulk. Just get a big, leave it in your yard, it's always there, you know, chop it in whenever you want. But realizing, you know, what we have the abilities, we're really lucky being on the Cape, because there's a lot of things available to us. You know, we're in that kind of are we in zone 7? Has that changed yet?
I think we're now in zone 7B now, I believe.
And that's because?
That's because of getting warmer.
Climate
I hate to say,
change.
but I think we're getting warmer.
Climate change, global warming and such. So yeah, literally our zones has even changed, which in my lifetime I just never fathomed that possibility, you know? So that means habitats of growth and stuff changes, but things are hardy, things are adapting, we're adapting, you know, that's what nature does.
That's true.
You know, so it's not like we're gonna lose things. I think we end up gaining, you know, like the whales come more often and stay longer and things like the shifts in nature. It's neat to see.
Maybe we'll have bananas soon.
Whoa, slow it down, slow it down. It would be cacao. That would be my dream, to be able to grow chocolate on Cape Cod, for sure. So I think it's really, you know, it's something that, again, we've got to think about every single day, what we're eating, what we're doing on our land, what we're putting down our sinks, all matters in nature. You know, working with nature on nature's terms, it makes it so much easier. You know, people want to cut their lawn every week. I let it go 2 weeks. You'd be amazed. It turns green again, you know, and have a little patience, I guess, and a little, you know, ability to try new things. That's another big deal, is to get out of our, you know, daily habits of, you know, I go and do this and I go do that. Try something new. Go to a new place. Try new flavors. You'll surprise yourself. And the difference between organic carrot and a conventional carrot, if you blindfold, that's a fun thing to do with a bunch of kids. Oh, it's hilarious. And just see what their faces light up, and it's an obvious outcome. I mean, it's just obvious. And, you know, it's interesting for me to listen to people say, it's so expensive to eat organic, it really is, and but then they'll go out and get their, you know, $4.50 latte or something, you know. They get so much cheaper just to, you know, shift your finances to where the priorities are, you know, but, you know, everybody's got their stuff. I get that too. So I'm just one of those where my, you know, goals are more for quality. I would pay for quality. Would you pay for quality?
I sure would. Yep.
See, and it's almost like you don't need as much, you know, to sustain yourselves. And, you know, the thing with GMOs is it's not giving us enough nutritional value, so we eat more of it because we don't have that, you know, the zest, you know, it doesn't give us enough energy, so we want to, you know, and then we just eat more and consume more. Yeah, exactly. But eating organic, you know, that's so expensive, but you actually eat less amount to be able to, you know, still have vitality. So that's something else to think about. It's just shifting, you know, it's not that it's difficult, it's just that it's different. It's my latest one-liner.
It's a good one.
You like it?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today on POCCA Cape Cod TV. Thank you, David, for being with us.
Thank you. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's a big deal what you're doing for the Cape, and thanks for being so active in our community and sharing.
It's my pleasure.
You know, new, easy ways to eat and to live here, really, you know. So go and check out his place when you get a chance, or grow your own. Thank you. Be well.